What is up, guys? I am back with another movie review. As you can see, I'm going to be reviewing Halloween Ends by David Gordon Green. This is his third installment into his trilogy of Halloween movies. If you have not watched this movie, I suggest not watching this video because I have to go in depth in order to do this review. So I will start the review now. Man, oh man. I don't even know what to say. I was a fan of the last two movies, and this movie, they just veered off. They went into another direction. Don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if they were just coming up with this shit as they went along. But man, this movie it's bad. I'm not going to consider it part of the Halloween franchise. It's bad in some ways. It's not a very terrible movie. It could have been done better. It could have been executed better. But I'm going to cut the shit, and we're going to jump into it. So, Halloween Ends had one of the most lackluster opening title scenes of all time. I wasn't thrilled with it like I was for the last two movies. They show Halloween or Halloween Kills, and that intro just captivates you and you're sucked into the movie. So, this movie, the intro was just boring, and then the pumpkin, where like it was splitting open, it just looked too computerized for me. Like they just, let's hurry this process up and add a shit ton of CGI on it and call it a day. So yeah, it was all CGI generated. And that just took away from the originality of that iconic splitting opening pumpkin intro. So this movie opens with a weird scene. It opens up October 2019 Halloween night. A babysitter named Corey babysitting this smart-ass kid that you just want to pop across the mouth. He accidentally kills his kid. This kid traps him in like an attic or something. Corey kicks open the door. It hits the kid. The kid goes flying over the railing, and he falls like 4 flights of stairs down to like the floor in his mansion, or in his house where his parents live. And this kid is dead on the spot. The shitty part is the parents walk in and they see their kid just fall straight from the top down. It was deemed an accident, so Corey never goes to prison. Now, with that being said, people of Haddonfield consider him to be the new psycho on the block, which is understandable. And they're considering him the new killer or whatever, so Corey kind of gets his ass bullied and gets his ass kicked by a group of high school seniors. Keep in mind, Corey's like 20-something years old, and he's here getting his ass kicked by a group of high school seniors. So they catch him on a bridge. They beat him up. They throw him over the bridge. He falls down to like the grass or the pavement or whatever, which wasn't a high drop. And Corey stumbles upon a sewer drain where obviously Michael Myers has been hiding for 4 years. I don't know if they're turning Michael Myers into Pennywise now, but yeah, Michael Myers has been hiding out in the sewer drain for 4 years, and Corey comes in contact with Michael when Michael grabs him by the throat. Michael looks him in the eye, and there's like a transfer of darkness or evilness, and Corey has all these like visions of murdering, from the little kid he murdered, and they kind of tease a few others in there, and it's just like, okay, so then Michael Myers just transfer his dark illusions onto Corey or what? So Corey spends a good majority of the movie being weird, I guess. He obviously gets with Allison because Jamie Lee Curtis saw Corey getting his ass kicked by these seniors, and he was so angry he squeezed his bottle of chocolate milk. It was in a glass-like bottle, and Jamie Lee sends him to the hospital in which Allison works. So Allison and this weirdo get together, and they pretty much form a bond over their weird past of murdering and killing and all that. So they kind of form this weird past, and it leads to like, oh, I want to leave town with you on the back of your motorcycle, which is kind of weird. I do not consider this movie to be part of the Halloween franchise in any way, shape, or form. That's just my personal opinion. So Corey ends up filling the shoes of Michael Myers. Yes, that's right, folks. Michael Myers has been sidelined in this movie. Just how Jamie Lee was sidelined in the last movie, they decided to do it to Michael Myers in this movie, which is pretty sad because, you see a movie with Halloween and you expect Michael Myers to be in there more often. Michael Myers only got like 15 minutes of screen time throughout the entire movie. Keep in mind, um, he didn't make his first appearance, full appearance, until maybe an hour into the movie. And I just kept checking my clock in the theater, and I was like, man, an hour in, and we're finally seeing Michael Myers. So Corey is around, um, pretty much trying to take the spot of Michael Myers in a way. Corey's walking around in these coveralls and in the Myers mask as well. And I am just there nodding my head like, what are they doing? Were they just coming up with this shit as they went along with filming? Or did they have this written out already? Or did they rewrite something? I don't know what they were doing. I'm really not sure how this movie connects to the other two. I just don't know what they were doing in this movie. So Michael Myers ends up, coming into the screen and doing like 2 kills. Big deal, or 3 if you want to count Corey. But man, I just found it to be lazy, just lazy writing. The only good scene in this movie, man, was the battle between Laurie and Michael. And I will get into that later, but this whole Corey kid getting with Allison and forming a bond over murder or killing, or Allison's past with Myers, and Corey with his fixation on wanting to kill and carry the torch for Myers, so to speak. I just found it really stupid. And I know I've heard a lot of theories on the radio antenna in Haddonfield, which is like, I just don't get why people would come up with such thing. But they showed the radio antenna again in this movie, and they showed it a few times. And in one scene, the radio antenna is engulfed in flames, but they never explained why, or they never showed why it was engulfed in flames. The cool things about this movie was the kills, and obviously most of the kills were done by Corey dressing up as Myers. To me, it almost seems like they revived the original script and plot from Halloween H2O, the whole copycat killer thing, and they decided to try to inject it into this movie and have it done. A lot of things were not executed perfectly in this movie, which was a bummer. Now, as far as Michael's kills in this movie, guess they were just basic. They weren't nothing over the top, which was a bummer. Halloween Kills, man. For those of you that bashed Halloween Kills, I guarantee you they probably regret bashing that movie, because this movie was nowhere near Halloween Kills as far as kills go and screen time of Myers himself. I just felt like they took away a lot. It was lackluster. So Laurie and Myers battle it out. And I think this was the best part of the entire movie, because this is what we wanted to see. And there was one point where Laurie's like, go on ahead, just do it. Sort of like telling Myers to kill her. And then she has like, I guess her life or those flashbacks from part 1 flash through her head. And, Allison comes in. And Laurie kind of like snaps out of it. And Laurie pins Myers down to the table with knives, and she throws a refrigerator on Myers, and he's pretty much stuck on this table, and she's slowly like slicing away at Myers, his neck and his wrists, and then they take him to a junkyard where they throw him into a grinder. And that's the end, literally the end. And after that, it's just like Haddonfield's a happy place, sunshine, and birds are chirping, and it's just like, what did I just watch? Considering the fact that Michael Myers has underwent crazy amount of abuse and just brutal punishment in the past 2 movies. From the mob in Halloween Kills, beating him up, shooting him, Laurie trapping him in the basement, him getting partially burned, and the stabbing the guy has went through, or the shape has went through, they get rid of him using a set of knives, a refrigerator, and a grinder at a junkyard. That just seems like something they could have done in Kills and called it a day. I mean, they had the perfect opportunity to do it in Kills. The movie was named Halloween Kills, but no. We waited another year to be let down. They fast forward 4 years in the script just to make things up to date. I just found the way they sent Myers off was just lazy. It was rushed. It was stupid. It should have never happened, and it should have been done better if they were taking this route. As for Corey being the new Michael Myers or the copycat killer, if that's what you want to call him, and him being possessed, now we're going back to the roots of Halloween 4, I guess. They're paying homage to Halloween 4 by bringing possession into the mix. And yes, there was a tow truck in the movie as well, and I just kept getting Halloween 4 vibes from that. The tow truck was used to kill one of the individuals. You know, it runs him over or runs her over. I will say some of the kills were pretty brutal, like the radio DJ got his tongue sliced off or chopped off by the scissors. But other than that, Myers did like little to no killing. And that was just a bummer because after what we've seen in Halloween Kills, you'd expect Myers to kill a shit ton of more people in this movie. But no, the directors and the writers did a complete 180 on us and just sent this movie into the further. And that was just a big buzzkill and a big letdown. I went into this movie with zero expectations because the problem is a lot of people are disappointed by their expectations. I go into these movies with zero expectations. I ignored trailers, teasers, articles, photos, behind the scenes, still shots, all of that, you name it. I ignored it. And I left the theater pretty disappointed. And so did many other people. This movie could have been done better if things were planned out or written better. Maybe it looked cool on paper. Maybe it did. And then they were like, maybe we should rewrite some things because it's just looking corny. This movie was just a big, corny festival of I want to be like you. And, you know, what I mean by that is I want to be like Michael Myers. So let me wear these coveralls and then let me just get his mask off of him. One thing I did not like was them making Myers seem old and fragile and tired. It's like, this guy's not a man. And they're treating him as if he was a man. This guy's a force of evil. He's a force of darkness. And another thing that really stood out to me was, like, in Halloween Kills where Laurie's narrating the last few scenes and she says, like, Michael Myers cannot be defeated with brute force. Stuff like that, which means you can't combat evil with violence. And in this movie, they did exactly just that. She defeated him with brute force using knives and a refrigerator, and then they tie him onto the roof of a car, they drive him to the junkyard, and they throw him in the grinder. That's why I said that could have been something they just could have showed in Halloween Kills and called it a day, just ended everything there. But I guess it was a cash grab, and they just wanted us to wait another year to be disappointed. Again, I love Halloween 2018 and I love Halloween Kills. This movie just didn't do it for me. And I hate to be that bitchy fan, but man, this movie was just a letdown. I rewatched it once I got home. I'm gonna rewatch it again, sadly, just so I can force myself to at least wrap my head around this story. I know it's not gonna, it's not gonna do much. The lackluster storyline's still going to be there, and I don't think I'm going to want to understand it because it's just, it was executed on so many poor levels. It's just like, they just should have took their time with it instead of rushing it. But Halloween Ends, guys, if I have to rate it, I will rate it a solid 4.5 out of 10 stabs, just because of the kills and the score. Regardless of who did the kills were pretty brutal. I will say there's not as much gore displayed in this movie as there was in the past two movies, but they did what they could, I guess. I just wish they could have did better, you know. For Terrifier 2 to be a low-budget film and to outdo Halloween Ends, that says a lot. Yes. I don't think I will be buying this one on hard copy. I just don't think it's collection worthy. I'm going to leave it out. But I will be buying Terrifier 2 on hard copy when it drops in December, I believe. So keep an eye out for that, guys. I will be doing a review on that. That's going to wrap it up for this video, though, man. I hate to be that bitchy fan again, but this is my in-depth review of Halloween Ends. It was just lackluster, just disappointing, and it was just not executed well. It could have been a better film, but they just, I don't know what they were thinking. They just dropped the ball on it, man. It's not a terrible movie. It's a watchable movie, but not with that title. That Halloween title and the whole Michael Myers marketing has to go, because I do not consider it to be a Myers film of any kind. They just really, oof, yeah, dropped the ball on it. But anyway, guys, I will see y'all in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, and subscribe. This is Sinister Spawn, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.